If you listen to the anti-Western Tucker Carlson-loving brigade, they'll tell you that President Trump never wanted to have a fight with the Islamic Republic of Iran. It's only the last few months, the last year or so since he became president again, that he was controlled by the Jews, and suddenly he was in favor of war in Iran.
So Mahyar Tousi just demolished one of the biggest lies circulating in conservative circles, that Trump's Iran stance is somehow new or controlled by outside forces. This matters because Iranian regime collapse is accelerating right now, and understanding Trump's 4-decade consistency explains why his approach worked. Let's break this down.
There is a problem here. That is a lie, and we're going to expose that right here. President Trump has been consistent over the last few years.
He's absolutely right about this anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. The controlled by Jews narrative conveniently ignores that Trump's been warning about Iran since the 1980s, decades before he entered politics. It's classic bad faith argumentation that crumbles under basic fact-checking.
Over the last few decades, goes back to the 1980s, literally after 1979, when the Islamic occupation took control of Iran and when they decided to go into the US embassy and take hostages, American hostages. Now, let's go to the 1980s, an interview he did, and he said that the American policy under the US Democrats was absolutely chaotic, and we have to discuss the threat coming from the Islamic Republic of Iran. Let's have a look at this, and I'm going to give you guys more evidence.
The 1979 hostage crisis was America's wake-up call to Iranian aggression. 444 days of humiliation under Carter. What's remarkable is Trump recognized this threat in the 1980s, when most politicians were still treating Iran as a manageable problem. That early clarity was prophetic.
But you might say, all right, that was a very special circumstance, the American hostages and what happened there, it's a bit of vengeance. No, it continued, because even in 2011, President Trump said that we might actually have to use a military against the IRGC, even though the US Democrats and Barack Hussein Obama were too busy making a deal to save the regime rather than to eliminate the threat.
The IRGC, Iran's Revolutionary Guard, is their terror export machine, funding Hezbollah, Hamas, and Houthis globally. While Obama was shipping pallets of cash to Tehran in 2016, Trump was already calling for military action against them. The contrast in strategic thinking is stark.
And other countries where it looked like it was an impossibility, and it looks like that one's going to collapse also. So Iran can be taken. I would never take the military card off the table. And it's possible that it'll have to be used because Iran cannot have nuclear weapons.
Iran can't have nuclear weapons.
This is leadership versus appeasement in action. Obama gave Iran $150 billion and hoped they'd behave. Trump understood that strength prevents war, weakness invites it. With Iran's nuclear program advancing, the military option wasn't aggression, it was deterrence.
While everyone is waiting and prepared for us to attack Syria, maybe we should knock the hell out of Iran and their nuclear capabilities. President Trump was always against unnecessary wars. He was always against chaotic wars. He was always against wars that didn't actually solve anything or help the Americans.
Perfect distinction here. Trump opposed Iraq and Afghanistan because they achieved nothing for America. But Iran directly threatens U.S. interests and allies. Strategic prioritization isn't isolationism. It's smart foreign policy that focuses resources where they actually matter for national security.
At the time, with the civil war in Syria, well, it would have been quite chaotic, and we had a very crazy policy of helping the enemies of Daesh, that includes Bashar al-Assad, to destroy Daesh. At the same time, we were also against Assad. That was a little bit confusing. So President Trump said, when it comes to cases like Syria, let them kill each other, and at the end, we'll see what we have left. And this is what he said in 2015.
Obama's Syria policy was pure chaos, simultaneously supporting anti-Assad rebels while relying on Assad to fight ISIS. Trump's let them kill each other approach sounds harsh but proved prescient. Assad eventually won anyway, and America avoided another endless commitment.
This is back in the day, 2015, before he became president. But in 2024, he promised us no more wars, no wars in Iran or anywhere else. Did he say that, or did he continue to be consistent when it comes to his position on Iran and the nuclear threat from the Islamic Republic.
This is where critics deliberately misrepresent Trump's position. No more wars doesn't mean pacifism. It means no more nation-building disasters like Iraq. Targeted action against direct threats like Iran's nuclear program isn't warmongering. It's preventing larger conflicts later.
And he promised during the campaign, if the Islamic Republic of Iran continues to be a threat, we will take them out. And guess what he did? He took them out. And now there are not many leaders left to negotiate with.
And Trump delivered exactly what he promised. The targeted elimination of Iranian leadership, including recent operations against Khamenei's inner circle, has left the regime scrambling. Iranian protesters are literally fighting IRGC forces in the streets right now.
They're all gone, they're all dead, it's all falling apart. We need to find somebody to talk to because this is getting a little bit embarrassing for the Iranian regime.
The regime's desperation is obvious. They're losing control of major cities while their leadership structure collapses. Trump's 4-decade consistency on Iran wasn't rhetoric. It was strategic patience that culminated in precisely the right moment to act decisively.
This is how you tell the truth. This is how you expose the lies coming from the anti-Western brigade.
This is how you dismantle propaganda with receipts. 4 decades of consistent statements prove Trump's Iran position was never about external influence. It was about recognizing threats early and acting strategically. The current Iranian collapse validates everything he predicted.